that which is declared imperishable by the Veda knowers, that into which, the self-controlled and desire-free enter, that desiring for which Brahmacharya is practiced, that goal I will declare to thee in brief. This word is verily Brahman alone, this word is also the highest, he who knows this word obtains, verily, whatever, of the two, he desires. Hiranyagarbha has power over natural forces, control over thunder, lightning. Omkara Upasana gives sense pleasure, lokas, and Krima-mukti. Gains an identity in the end Ayamaham asmai, this I am. Most glorious is the support, this is the supreme most support, he who has realized, known, this support comes to be adored, worshipped in the world of Brahmaji, the Creator. Omkara is the greatest symbol of the Lord. Upasaka gets Brahmaloka. Nishkama Upasaka seeks Brahmaloka, Chaitanyam. With desire, we go to Aloka, place where desires are fulfilled. Where is Brahma Chaitanyam? Pratibadhaviditam madham. In every transaction it is there. He will recognize consciousness is Brahman. The intelligent Atman is not born, nor does he die. He did not spring from anything, and nothing sprang from him. This unborn, eternal, everlasting, ancient, is not slain even when the body is destroyed. The blessed Lord said, "You have grieved for those that should not be grieved for, yet, you speak words of wisdom. The wise grieve neither for the living nor for the dead. He is not born, nor does he ever die, after having been, he again ceases not to be, unborn, eternal, changeless, and ancient, he is not killed when the body is killed." What is nature of Atma? 9 features, indicators a, Vipaskat, Sarva Prakasheka Chaitanyam, Jnana, Vijnana Svarupa. All illumining consciousness. 5 steps of understanding, 1, not part, product, property of body. 2, independent entity, pervades body. 3, not limited by boundaries of body. 4, continues after death of body. 5, surviving consciousness can't transact because of lack of medium. B. Najat, Mriyat, consciousness is neither born nor dies. Shadvikara Rahita. Not subject to modification and change like body. Asti, potential existence, Jat, birth, Vardate, growth, Viparinamate, metamorphosis, changes, Apakshiyat, declines, Vinashyati, destruction. Time responsible for all changes. Atmanirvikara Chaitanyam. Does not fall within realm of time. Night follows day, evening follows the morning, winter and spring repeat themselves. Time plays and the life is running out. But the force of desires never lessens. Consciousness does not arise fr seed, cause of tree, becomes tree. Atma neither cause nor effect. Nachiketa question om anything, it is not an effect, product karyam. Nacicetus said, that which thou seest as other than virtue and vice, as right and unright, as other than cause and effect, as other than the past and future, tell me that. What is beyond cause and effect? Answer, Atma. Manjakaya Upanishad, 3rd chapter, 48 verses explains 2nd line of this mantra Ajati Veda. No jiva, the egocentric separative creatures, is ever born. There does not exist any cause, which can produce them as its effect. This, Brahman, is that highest truth where nothing is ever born. Atma is birthless. Dhyadikalastless, eternal. Vridhi rahita, growthless. Beyond increase and decrease. Does not undergo parimana, modification. Not afflicted by time or shrinkage. No metamorphosis. If the slayer thinks I slay, and if the slain thinks, I am slain, then both of them do not know well. This slays not nor is the slain. Why Atma is a karta, a Buddha. Action means change on part of agent. Body called karta, can move in space from one place to another. Capable of doing action. Consciousness can't do action, therefore can't reap result of karma, therefore a Buddha. Consciousness has no sanchita, Agami, Prarabdha, karmas. Agent of karmas undergoes birth and death. Atma is Nityamukta Svaripa, free from samsara. Yama presence in different grammatical language. Atma sarva vyavahara agakara, all transactions in which you are subject or object. Person thinks I am subject of action, actor, killer, doer. Another says I am object of others' action, victim of action. Both do not know, are ignorant. Atma neither doer or victim of any action. Most of the pains in our life are in the form of hurt or guilt. Example, A. Son did this to me. Take experience from others, leads to hurt. Hurt generated as Buddha, object. B. I did this to my parents, guilt. Guilt generated as Karta, subject. Such thoughts, why have I not done what is good? Why have I committed a sin, certainly do not come to distress a man of experience of the truth. He who knows thus, regards both these as the Atman. Verily, both these are regarded by him who knows thus, as only Atman. Thus ends the Upanishad. Moksha equals freedom from hurt and guilt. How Jnani transcends Karta Bhakta. All actions are performed, in all cases, merely by the qualities in nature, gunas. He, whose mind is deluded by egoism, thinks I am the doer. Sense organs, body, mind are Karta, Bhuta, Ahamkara, I own up Chaitanyam behind them all, and I am free from both hurt and guilt. Keep doing actions with good motive. Do not allow day-to-day transactions to develop into hurt and guilt. In old age, only hurt and guilt thoughts come, as I can't be Karta, Buddha anymore. He, who takes the self to be the slayer, and he, who thinks he is slain, neither of them knows. He slays not, nor is he slain. The Atman that is subtler than the subtlest, and greater than the greatest, is seated in the cavity of heart of each living being. He, who is free from willing and wishing, with his mind and senses composed, beholds the majesty of the self and becomes free from sorrow. Atma Chaitanyam, not confined to physical body but pervades entire creation, sentient and insentient, adisthanam. Consciousness is in the body also. One who holds on to this consciousness is free from sorrow. All bodies threaded together by invisible consciousness. Isness, pure existence, is in and through entire creation. Salutations to Sri Dakshinamurti, who awakens the glory of the Atman within us through his profound silence. By this throb alone, which is of the nature of eternal underlying awareness, the unreal forms get their meanings and appear over the mind. This knowledge of the Atman spoken of in the Vedas as Tat-Tvamaci is imparted by our inner Guru as a direct experience when we surrender wholeheartedly to him. By direct experience of this knowledge, the delusion of being tossed within an unending ocean of worldly existence will not appear again. Salutations to him, the personification of our inner Guru who awakens this knowledge through his profound silence. Salutation to Sri Dakshinamurti. A is Atma Anu or Maha. By itself it is neither waker, dreamer, sleeper. Associated with name and form, it appears Anu or Maha. Where is Atma to be found? Atma is thread in entire creation. Example, A. It is like wave going in search of water. B. Dress in search of threads. C. Jiva in search of Paramatma for liberation. Atma is located in minds of Yantu, living beings. Example, in meditation, feel yourself. I am that Atma which is aware of blankness as in sleep. Atma is present as I, the witness of the mind, can be realized only when mind is quiet. Three states of consciousness is property of mind, attribute of mind. Atma is Turiyam, never seen as object, eternally a subject, immortal. Atma has to be owned up as witness of the mind. Arrival of wave, not displacement of water. Arrival of thoughts in dream and waking, not displacement of Atma Chaitanyam. I observe silence, blankness as witness of blankness. Atma, not matter of searching, finding, objectifying, but owning up as the subject. C. Who can own up Atma? One condition Lord Yama mentions here. Akrutuhu, one without a restless mind, without desires, expectation. Not a noisy, crowded, busy, preoccupied mind, when we are identified with our thoughts. We lose sight of ever-evident consciousness. How to discriminate mind and consciousness? Desires do not displace consciousness, desires distract consciousness, attention, awareness. I am Sakshi, Atma, free but preoccupied with the pressure of thoughts, happenings around. Need relaxed mind to notice, recognize Atma. Example, go to airport, waiting to see friend coming from airport, forget to notice surroundings. O daytime in busy marketplace can't hear tick of clock. Oin midnight in same place can notice. KATHO UPANISHAD. One with Viveka, Vairajyam, Sadhana Shatushtiya Sampatti can recognize, realize Atma. Here Vairajyam emphasized by grace of sense organs, Jnana Indriyas, Karma Indriyas, mind instruments. Hence we chant Shanti mantras Om, O worshipful ones, may our ears hear what is good and auspicious. May we see what is auspicious. May we sing your praise, live our allotted span of life in perfect health and strength. May Indra, who is, extolled in the scriptures, Pushan, the all-knowing Trakshya, who saves from all harm, and Brihaspati who protects our spiritual luster, vouchsafe prosperity in our study of the scriptures and the practice of the truths contained therein. Om peace, peace, peace may my limbs, speech, prana, vital air, eye, ear, strength of all my senses grow vigorous. All, everything, is the Brahman of the Upanishads. May I never deny the Brahman. May the Brahman never spurn me. May there be no denial of the Brahman. May there be no spurning by the Brahman. Let all the virtues recited by the Upanishads repose in me, delighting in the Atman. May they in me repose. Om peace. 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 What is the result of this knowledge? Vita Shaka Bhavati, free from sorrow, grief, eternal complaint gone. I do not see that it would remove the sorrow that burns up my senses, even if I should attain prosperous and unrivaled dominion on earth, or even lordship over the gods. My grief is so intense, all my possessions will not help me to come out of this grief. Grief of humanity goes only by one method, owning up my higher nature. The blessed Lord said, "You have grieved for those that should not be grieved for, yet, you speak words of wisdom." The wise grieve neither for the living nor for the dead. One has to claim Atmachatanya Svarupam to obtain freedom from sorrow is essence of this verse. Conclusion, in this verse, Sarva Adhisthanam of Atma is emphasized, inner essence of everything. Atma is the basic substance out of which whole creation is made. Substance, Karanam product, effect, Karayam, wood, gold, Atma Chaitanyam, furniture, ornaments, universe. One substance, Chaitanyam in manifest form is Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara. Sitting he travels far, lying he goes everywhere. Who else, therefore, save myself is able to comprehend the God, who rejoices and two aspects of subtle universe to be carefully understood. Samanya Chaitanyam, general diffused, spread out, pervasive, unlocated consciousness as in sleep. All-pervading, general consciousness, hidden real nature experienced. Vaishya Chaitanyam, in Jagrat, we are located consciousness beings. Sense of location caused by fully awake mind. All-pervading consciousness gets reflected in the mind medium. Reflected consciousness is located, limited, entrapped, functional in Jagrat and Svapna. When reflected consciousness comes, it overpowers general all-pervading consciousness. Dominates during Jagrat. Samanya not absent, Panchadasi. During day, show patch of light on the wall through mirror. On the patch of light in the wall, two lights are there. Where reflected light is there, general sunlight also present but overshadowed by Surya Prakash. Remove mirror, Samanya Surya Prakash alone remains. Samanya Chaitanyam Vaishya Chaitanyam, Atma appears to be located in waking and dream. Atma Chaitanyam seems to travel because of movement of reflecting medium, entrapping mind. At death mind travels, it appears as though Atma traveling from one body to another. Safatika in this body, 2 consciousness, non-traveling, dominant in sleep state, not required because Vaishachaitanyam always overpowers. Nirapadhika, unlocated Vaishachaitanyam travels far and wide in Jagrat. In sleep mind resolves, Vaishachaitanyam resolves. Vedantic theory of perception, science, light travels through my sense organs and then wall seen. Vedanta, mind and reflected consciousness travels and pervades wall. When Vaischaitanyam pervades object, object is known. In wall Samanya Chaitanyam is there. I can't know it till Vaischaitanyam is there. Salutations to Sri Dakshinamurti who awakens the glory of the Atman within us through his profound silence, as the light of a great lamp situated inside a pitcher having many holes, shine outwards. Similarly, the knowledge of that only, i.e. Atman, throb outwards through our eyes and other sense organs. I know, he alone shining, I.e. Atman, this entire world shines. Salutations to him, the personification of our inner Guru who awakens this knowledge through his profound silence. Salutation to Sri Dakshinamurti. This Atman cannot be attained by the study of Vedas nor by intelligence, not by much hearing. It is gained by him who chooses, praise to, this, Atman, alone. To him this Atman reveals its true nature. Sadhanas required for Atmajananam. Mind has to be specially prepared for self-knowledge. Same mantra in Mundaka Upanishad. The self is not attained through discourses nor through memorizing scriptural texts, nor through much learning. It is gained only by him who wishes to attain it with his whole heart. To such a one, the self reveals its true nature. Value of mumukshutvam emphasized here. Unless person has burning desire for self-knowledge, he can't get this knowledge. Teaching is thought built up by Sravanam. Teaching must also be retained by Medashakti, Arthagrahanam. One can't get Atma by listening, if there is no desire for moksha. One who chooses Atma will get Atma. Should you choose God? Should God choose me? Is Ishvara Anugraha more important? God's grace equal for all, impartial. Sunlight illumines slum, or palace question, is self-effort more important? In Vedanta self-effort emphasized, seeker has to choose God and become Tivra Jinjyasa. The practice of what is right and proper, as fixed by the scriptural texts, is to be done along with reading the texts oneself and propagating the truths of the same. Truth, meaning practicing in life what is understood to be right and proper, is to be pursued along with regular studies and preaching. Penance, study and preaching, control of the senses, study and preaching, tranquility, study and preaching, the maintenance of fire, study and preaching, offering of oblations in fire sacrifice, study and preaching of the Vedas, serving the guests, study and preaching, the performance of duties towards man, study and preaching, duties towards children, study and preaching of the Vedas, procreation, study and preaching, propagation of the race, study and preaching. All these are things to be practiced sincerely. Satyavaka, son of Rathitara, holds that truth alone is to be strictly practiced. Taponitya, son of Purasista, declares that penance alone is to be practiced. Naka, son of Mudgala, holds the view that the study and preaching of the Vedas alone is to be practiced, that verily, is penance, that is penance. But he who has not turned away from bad conduct, whose senses are not subdued, whose mind is not concentrated, whose mind is not pacified, can never obtain this Atman by knowledge. Other sadhanas, a moral lifestyle. If Vedanta has to bless me with moksha, I must be morally sound. Duskaritam, immoral ways of life should be given up and dharmic ways to be followed. Indriya nigraha, sense control. C. Kshamaha, mind control. Mano nigrahaha, vyavasayatmaka buddhi, focused. Mind, chit samadhanam, ashanta manasa, no use. D. Ashtanga yoga, meant to develop values, yama, niyama, for moral life. Asana, pranayama, pratyahara, control over sense organs. Dharana, dhyana, samadhi, control and taharanam. Here sadhana shatashtiya sampatti is highlighted. To whom the brahmana and the kshatriya classes are, as it were, but cooked rice and death itself is a condiment, curry or pickle, how can one thus know where that Atman is? Thus ends the second valley of the first chapter. Atma equals Layakaranam swallows creation at the time of pralayam. The two who enjoy the fruits of their good works being seated in the cavity of the heart, the seat of the Supreme, the knowers of Brahman call them shadow and light, as also the performer of the fivefold fire and those who have propitiated 3 times the Nasikita's fire. The two who have entered into the cavity of the heart are indeed the individual soul and the Supreme Soul, because it is so seen and on account of the distinctive qualities of the two mentioned in subsequent Jivatma, Chidabhasa, Paramatma, Chit, A, Chaya, Shadow B, finite, limited to body, located C, Karta, Buddha D, travels from one body to other E, has goal, destinations in life F, Karma Kanda, Pradhanam G, Anakam H, Anitya I, Savikara J, has borrowed sentiency A, Adipo, Sun, B, infinite, all. Pervading locationless C, Akarta, Abuddha D, does not travel Akalaha, Agamanavam, E, everfull F, Jainanakanda, Pradhanam G, Akam H, Nitya I, Nirvikara J, has intrinsic sentiency. Both dwell in the cave of intellect. Mind is a substance, material like lake, sea, in which thoughts rise and dissolve. When thoughts are not there, mind substance exists thoughtlessly. Mind is apankakruta, panchmahabhuthikritam. It has unique capacity to reflect consciousness. Chidabhasa functions through the body, does actions, and gets out of all the body along with the mind, then physical body becomes dead body. An eternal portion of myself, having become a living soul in the world of life and abiding in Prakriti, draws, to itself, the 5 senses, with mind as the 6th living body / individual dead body / matter, has original consciousness and reflected consciousness, has only original consciousness, body not alive because Chidabhasa has moved out. Comparable to shade and light. Shadow light, ahamkara, I, has dependent existence, mithya, jivatma, cause of shadow, has independent existence, satyam. 2 are residents of individual body, lok. Body is temple, sacred place in Garbhagriha of mind, 2 atmas are present. What work is going on? What are Jivatma and Paramatma doing in the mind? Jivatma busy consuming karma phalam, some smiling, crying. Of Jiva's own karma whose karma phalams are not transferable. Paramatma residing with Jiva as though enjoying karma phalam. 2 birds bound to each other in close friendship, perch on the self-same tree. One of them eats the fruits of the tree with relish, while the other, just, looks on, without eating. 2 birds in a body-like tree. Vedapurva Vedanta, Karmai Jiva focused, as Karta of rituals, bothered about Purabdha, Parihara, Panch Agna Trina Kaikta, Nachiketa ritual done 3 times, 2 titles of ritualists. Ritualists talk about Jiva's punyam, papam, karmas for themselves, parents sradam etc. Jainani Jiva focused, focus on Paramatma, Akarta, Abhuta, Sarvagata, Nitya, Shuddha. Jainani talks of Paramatma Svarapam. Jiva Paramatma, consumes and enjoys karma phalam, Chidabhasa Chaitanyam, reflected consciousness plus. Reflected medium, in the body is Jiva, the traveler, witness, one looker, not traveler, doesn't enjoy phalam. Closely associated with Jivatama, Paramatma's blessings involved, Pibanthu equals dual used because Paramatma is as though experiencing. May we master that Nasikita's fire sacrifice which is the bridge for those who perform sacrifices, as also that which is the highest immortal Brahman, fearless, and the other shore for those who wish to cross the ocean of samsara. 3 topics: destination paths, traveler Jivatma, Karta, Buddha. 2 goals: Priyasrayas Dharma Moksha Artha Kama Jnana Marga Karma Marga. In animals Kartrutvam and Bhakrutvam are overpowered and can't be expressed because they do not have Suks Hamashariram and Chidabhasa. Human alone have choice, and doership and enjoyership can be expressed in human birth. Primary goal must be one, there could be several secondary goals. One can do Nachiketa ritual and reach heaven, another realm of consciousness. Ritual is a bridge sethu to get better body, instrument, sense objects for enjoyment. Shabda, Sparsh, Roop, Rasa, Gandha, are entertainment gadgets. For those who wants to cross ocean of samsara, what is the means? Aksharam Param Brahma Jainanam. Dulwit choose priyas, Nachiketayu choose sreyas. What are the ideal conditions for success of spiritual journey? Body instrument should be travel worthy like aircraft, ship, car. Radikalpana, chariot. Analogy verse 3-9. Life journey, know the Atman as the Lord of the chariot, who sits within it, and the body as the chariot, know the intellect as the charioteer and the mind as, verily, the reins. 3 chariot body. A, chariot. A, physical body, fast decaying, deteriorating. B, horses, to draw chariot. B, sense organs, draw body from one place to another, ear, music hall, tongue, restaurant, eyes, mountains. Chariot body. C, reins, horses, directed, controlled, regulated. C, mind, controlling which sense organs, should be pursued. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, Manasa Eva Pash, Srunatai. V. 3, if mind worried, emotionally disturbed, class not listened. 3 he designed for himself means, the mind, the organ of speech and the vital force, these he designed for himself. They say, I was absent-minded, I did not see it, I was absent-minded, I did not hear it. It is through the mind that one sees and hears. Desire, resolve, doubt, faith, want of faith, steadiness, unsteadiness, shame, intelligence, and fear, all these are but the mind. Even if one is touched from behind, one knows it through the mind, therefore, the mind exists. And any kind of sound is but the organ of speech, for it serves to determine a thing. But it cannot itself be revealed. Pra, Apana, Vyana, Yudana, Samana, and Ana, all these are but the vital force. This body is identified with these, with the organ of speech, the mind, and the vital force. Chariot body. D, charioteer, driver, controls. D, intellect/buddhi, all emotional problems solved by enlightened buddhi. Gita, chapter 2, verse 11, Gatha soon. Nan Shishita Pandita, chariot body. E, master, traveler seated behind. E, jiva, yajamanaha, chitabeza, along with reflecting medium is the chaya. Jita, the blessed Lord said, you have grieved for those that should not be grieved for, yet, you speak words of wisdom. The wise grieve neither for the living nor for the dead. Chapter 2, verse 11a, Buddham tu Sarathim Vidi, intellect, the driver should have knowledge of the path. Our intellect is drowned coin will delusion, says Bhartrhari. We don't know if money, status, power, or wisdom give security. Intellect should have vivka and jnanam. Mind, the reins should be well controlled, to control the sense organs, horses, when mind is unruly, sense organs play havoc. 4 factors must be healthy to have success in spiritual journey. A, body, don't pamper or ignore the body. Ashtanga yoga, to keep the body fit and withstand diseases. To enjoy sense pleasures as well for moksha we need fit body. B, sense organs, dhammaha, should be obedient and healthy to hear and write notes on Vedanta. C, mind, upashamaha, emotional sanity and psychological balance required. Emotions should not cloud thinking, should not hijack by discriminative power. Fight anxiety, should have immunity. D, intellect, vivka and medashakti, intellect, knows only language of reasoning. Knowledge dropped into intellect through funnel of reasoning. Can't suppress intellect with blind faith. Vedanta, matter of knowledge and understanding. Guru converts knowledge into words. Student should have skill to convert words into knowledge. 3 sciences important, O Vyakaranam, grammar O Mimamsa, analytical skill O Tarka, Logical thinking vivki should discriminate finite and infinite goals. Intellect should have values. The divine nature is deemed for liberation, the demoniacal for bondage. Grieve not, O Pandava, you are born with divine qualities arjavam, harmonization, integration required between four factors. In Mahatma all organs in alignment, thoughts, words, action, synchronize. The sense, and the instincts, they say, are the horses, and their roads are the sense objects. The wise call him the enjoyer, when he is, united with the body, the sense, and the mind. Indrayam, horses, sense object, roads, ears shabda, sound skin sparsh, touch eyes rupa, form/color tongue rasa, taste nose gandha, smell five sense organs are dragging the Jiva Buddha traveler to sense objects, the field. What is the purpose of Karta? To become Buddha at a later stage of Priya or Sriyo Marga. Pratibimba Chaitanyam, reflected consciousness, Chidabhasa is Buddha. It has to turn inwards to Paramatma, the non-traveling Sakshi illuminator of the universe. B. Atmendriya Mano Yudam Bhaktaya Hermani Sina, the Chidabhasa with the body and mind medium becomes the enjoyer in waking and dream state. In sleep state, medium of body, mind, sense organs taking rest, Buddha absent, Jiva can't enjoy anything. Verse 5+6, get knowledge of scriptures and have clear knowledge of destination, Vyavasayatmaka Buddhi. One who is always of unrestrained mind and devoid of right understanding, his sense organs become uncontrollable like the vicious horses of a charioteer. If mind is unrestrained, and intellect lacks understanding of the goals of life, the sense organs become uncontrollable like the horses of the charioteer. Mind is the vehicle you possess, is it a friend or enemy? Fit, happy mind unfit, sick, unhappy mind, enemy, undisciplined, takes you to opposite destination. Gives worries, bhayam, anxiety, angry, jealous, greed. Does not allow us to sleep. We can't run away and leave the body, mind complex. Continues in next Janma also. Depends on the condition of the mind, friend, disciplined. Takes you anywhere you want. Gita, chapter 6, verse 6, study what thoughts come, why thoughts come. I can't excel in my action without understanding my mind. The self is the friend of the self for him who has conquered himself by the self, but to the unconquered self, the self stands in the position of an enemy like the external foe. All his sense organs will be unruly, uncontrollable, chara, goes anywhere, Veda, talks loosely, bhaksha, eats anything. Licentious lifestyle. I am not in charge of my life but my vasanas are in charge. First rule in spirituality, I take charge of my life, responsible, accountable. I am feeble person, take assistance of Guru, Shastra. Watch they become, thoughts, words, action, habit, character, destiny, words, action, habits, character, destiny. Your entire life starts as trickles of thoughts alone, like drops of rain water becoming ocean. B. Yajya avijnanam bhavati, ayuktina manasa sabha, dushta ashvaha eva sarath, with unruly mind, without understanding, sense organs, horses becomes unruly and finally sit down and sleep when hit. With wild horses, how can I travel? But he who has the right understanding, and has a mind always controlled, his senses are always controllable as the good horses of the charioteer. Verse 5 verse 6, unruly vehicle, healthy vehicle, all fit components, vijnanavan bhavati, intellect clear of ultimate and immediate goals. Come to life, education, job, marriage, children, to prepare mind, not an end in itself. Children have independent life, incidental, intermediary coming and going. A. Vyavasayatmaka buddhi, ekha evaku ranandana, intelligent know and remember destination, vijnanavan bhavati. B. Yatina manasa satta, knows necessity balanced mind. If mind not balanced, it will be carried away by sense organs. Instead of flying to moksha, will be trapped rag, dvesha, kama krodha. They rob me of my peace of mind. Know how to manage emotions, and not allow them to overpower you. Samatvam yoga uchyate, by dharmic way of life and karma yoga, samatvam can be had during worst crisis also. See, Tajya Indriyani Vashyani, sense organs controlled by mind and intellect goes to fields which you value more. By changing values, can change way of life, TV or class. D. Sadasva eva sarath, like good horses of a charioteer. The mind verily is, O Krishna, restless, turbulent, strong and unyielding. I deem it quite, as, difficult to control as the wind. We can gain mastery over mind and sense organs with effort and grace of Lord. We are bound to fail initially, but don't feel guilty. Failure indicates, it is challenging, more effort required. Ultimate controller is the intellect, central agency which controls body, mind, sense organs. Two methods understand role of japa, meditation, other sadhakas for purifying mind only. Scriptures are operations manual for handling life's journey. Sense organs, outgoing, stray talks, lectures don't get total picture. Tame body, mind, sense organs, the equipments with the intellect filled with knowledge from Shastra, and he who is devoid of proper understanding, thoughtless, and always impure, never attains that goal and gets into the round of births and deaths if vehicle not fit. What is the consequence? No liberation, spiritual stagnation. Avigyanavan does not know which sadhana relevant when. Thoughts, disobedient mind, unruly mind, as good as no mind. Person becomes impure in terms of sense organs. Sense organs move in adharmic, improper ways. Wallows in unhealthy things. Mind gets strength through intellect by enlightenment. Temptations can't pressurize a person, who can turn away from sense organs. He does not watch thoughts, words, actions, habit, character, destiny. What is consequence? Does not get mokshapadam, remains in status quo position, no progress, falls into further samsara. Falling down spiritually does not require effort, flowing with the tide. Suppression, mastery, control of sense organs without understanding. Damming river without releasing water. Control of sense organs by spiritual knowledge and understanding, but he who is intelligent, ever pure, and with the mind controlled, verily reaches that goal from whence none is born again. Imagine a person who knows role of all actions in life, fulfills artha, kama desires keeping with dharma, purifies mind by nitya, namatika karma. Mind is his servant. B. Sense organs sadashichi, ever pure on right roads. But the self-controlled man moving among objects with his senses under restraint and free from both attraction and repulsion, attains peace. He will attain mokshapadam, 100% guarantee. The man who has intelligence for his charioteer and the mind as the, well-controlled, rein, he attains the end of the journey, that supreme place of Vinu, the all-pervading Atman. Vijnanasarthi, person should have driver in the form of informed intellect, regarding goal of life. Why we have come here? Where are we going? Now what I should do? B. Mana pragrahavan, mind controlled like reins of the chariot by the knowledgeable intellect. Pragraha means reins. Seeker has tamed sense organs, in technical language, called sadhana shatashtiya sampatti. Attains Vishnupadam means attain Vishnu Svarapam, nature of Vishnu. Lower nature of Lord Vishnu, higher nature of Lord Vishnu. A. Finite. B. Shankha, Chakra, Gadha, Pani Svarapam. C. Attractive Sagunam. A. Infinite. B. Formless Svarapam, Paraprakriti Ashabdam, Asparsham. C. Nirguna, real nature, formless all-pervading consciousness, never away from me. Vishnupadam, no travel involved. Only dropping notion of distance and time, is reaching the real God. Example, dreamer reaching waker. Waker reaching divine Lord. Waking up by knowledge of Shastra. Vish, root is to pervade, to surround, to enter. Show a picture of chariot. Paramatma original consciousness destination skin eyes tongue nose ears sparsh rupam rasa gandha shabda 5 horses / 5 sense organs world / sense objects 5 paths reins mind intellect, driver jiva, traveler, reflected consciousness. Beyond the senses are the sense objects, beyond these objects is the mind, beyond the mind is the intellect, and beyond the intellect is the great self. 3, 10 Atma Jnanam, starts here verse 10 plus 11, spiritual journey antarmukha, travel within, shifting abhimana identification. Similar to Gita, chapter 3, verse 42. They say that the senses are superior to the body, superior to the senses is the mind, superior to the mind is the intellect, one who is even superior to the intellect is he, the Atman. Chapter 3, verse 42 inferior superior A, Indrabhaya, sense organs B, Artaha, sense objects C, Manaha, mind, D, Buddhi, intellect, A, Arthaha, sense objects B, Manaha, mind, C, Buddhi, intellect, D, Mahanatma, total intellect. Hiranyagarbha, reaching Vishnu is figurative. Discovering Vishnu is dropping notion that Vishnu is away. Vishnu is all-pervading consciousness, Paramatma, Bimba Chaitanyam. All-pervading consciousness. Original Vishnu Paramatma, light of all lights. Turn attention to original consciousness. Reflected consciousness, Chaya, mind with reflected consciousness. 2 Consciousness in the mind, not physical journey but intellectual journey of understanding. Consciousness being formless, tasteless, touchless, attributeless, gross intellect can't grasp. Upanishad takes our mind gradually from Saguna Jagat to Nirguna Chaitanyam. Gross subtle A, Saguna world B, Saguna Anatma C, Saguna Deham D, Saguna Shariram A, Nirguna Chaitanyam B, Nirguna Atma C, Nirguna Dehi D, Nirguna Shariri. This method of taking our understanding from Saguna to Nirguna is called Panchakosa Vivka. Components of spiritual journey: A. Annamaya Kosa, gross, physical, tangible body. Jita, just as a man casts off his worn-out clothes and puts on new ones, so also the embodied self casts off its worn-out bodies and enters new ones. Chapter 2, verse 22b, Pranamaya Kosa, energy, personality, I am tired, fresh. C. Manomaya Kosa, emotional personality. We want people to ask, how are you? D. Vijnanamaya Kosa, intellectual personality. E. Anandamaya Kosa, sleep state personality, with ignorance. Witness of sleep is Chaitanyam Dehibhaya, Indriyaha, physical body. Upanishad does not mention. Indriyas are subtler than gross body because sense organs can drag the sthula shariram. Example, Radikalpana horses drag the chariot. Sense organs, drag the body. Eyes, draws body to movie hall. Ears, draws body to class. Tongue, draws body to restaurant. Hence, sense organs are paraha, superior to gross body. B. Indrayi, Vyapara, high artha, sense objects are superior to sense organs which have capacity to tempt sense organs. Arthaha, sense objects enter the mind as vrittis and we fall in love with the sense objects. Vritti rupa arthaha are superior to sense organs. Jita, when a man thinks of objects, attachment for them arises, from attachment desire is born, from desire arises anger. Mind superior to thoughts because mind is upadanakarana of every thought. Thoughts are born, exist, dissolve into mind. Mind superior to thought of sense objects. Withdraw identification from each one of them, give up deha abhimana to thoughts, which are sukha abhimana. D. Manasastupara buddhi, intellect superior to mind, powerful, subtler. Mind and intellect are 2 functions of one antaharanam. Gross subtle, doubting emotional personality. Sankalpa vikalpa atmakam. Determining function, nishkayatmakam, can destroy emotional problems. Jnanam belongs to intellect, conquers sorrow, duksum belonging to mind. Gita, chapter 2, verse 11, wisdom can conquer sorrow, anger, depression, anxiety, frustration, inferiority complex, jealousy. The blessed Lord said, you have grieved for those that should not be grieved for, yet, you speak words of wisdom. The wise grieve neither for the living nor for the dead. Chapter 2, verse 11a, Buddhi Para, Mahan Atma, individual intellect, total intellect, wave, ocean, Samasthi Hiranyagarbha, pervades, influences individual intellect, depth, core of personality, expansion/wide, travel from micro to macro. Self-knowledge requires chariot imagery. Individual intellect driver, controller of mind. Mind reigns with that spear, destroy Agyanā Ajura equals samsara rakshasha. No individual body separate from total matter. Beyond the great, Maha, is the unmanifested, Avyaktam. Beyond the Avyaktam, Prakriti, is the Purasa. Beyond the Purasa there is nothing, that is the end, that is the highest goal. 3:11f, superior to total intellect is Avyaktam, unmanifest, Karana Avastha, that state in which intellect, knowledge is resolved into potential condition during pralayam, Karana Prapancha. Seed condition of total universe like sleep state. Intellect belongs to Sukshma Prapancha. Seed state is subtlest form of creation, undifferentiated, Nirvikalpaka Avastha. In seed can't differentiate root, branch, leaves, but it is there in unmanifest, potential form, coded form. What is my personality in sleep? Blankness, Ananda Maya Kosha, Jagat Bijam. G. Superior to that blankness is Purusha. Consciousness principle witnessing blank state. I did not experience anything is an experience, means absence of all experiences. Blankness is matter, anatma. Witness of blankness is consciousness, spirit. Blankness not void, state of nothingness, shunyam. From that only, everything is emanating for a jiva. Science, space is a substance that makes things to arrive. Blankness comes during sushupti and goes during jagrat and svapna. I the witness consciousness am permanently there. When matter goes to blankness as in sushupti, swoon, or death, I am there. I am witness of presence of thoughts and resolution of thoughts. I have to turn attention to consciousness which is inherent in the blankness as the very witness of blankness. Example, I say room is empty, no one is there. I forget myself, witness of emptiness. Empty hall which was pervaded by the light also illumines emptiness. Withdraw awareness from body, sense organs, emotions, knowledge, and come to state of total blankness. Instead of turning attention to blankness, own up consciousness which is aware of blankness. I am consciousness which is witness of silence, thoughtless mind, blank mind. Again thought comes, world comes, consciousness is there. When thought comes, consciousness does not go. When people enter hall, light is, people leave the hall, light is. Arrive, consciousness is, depart, consciousness is thoughts. No proof required for consciousness because if consciousness were absent, you will not be aware of the blankness of mind. Turn your attention to consciousness by owning up consciousness as I am. Hence Purusha is superior to Avyakta. Why consciousness called Purusha? Puri Shayanat iti Purusha Puraya Sarvam iti Purusha Purusha. Two derivations, indweller, resident of body. Tenant of the body, all-pervading consciousness pervades creation and illumines matter. Purusha is within and without. Purushaha na paramkanchit, no further journey after consciousness. Nothing subtler than Atma. Sa Paragatha, ultimate destination, other koshas are intermediate stations. Get over needs of each kosha and learn to drop abhimana. A. Diha, drop in ocean of matter, can pop off any time. B. Prana, hunger, thirst. C. Manaha, don't be shattered when someone does not love you or reduces smile by an inch. D. Vijnana, accept intellectual ignorance of certain aspects of the universe. E. Anandamaya, see witness Chaitanyam and arrive at final destination. Panchakosavivka over. This Atman hidden in all beings reveals, itself, not, to all, but is seen, only, by seers of the subtle through sharp and subtle intellect. 3:12 What are conditions required to do Panchakosavivka? One should have a very subtle mind, like cataract operation knife. Mind should be made extremely sensitive, otherwise will never recognize Atma. A. Ishaha Atma Sarva Buddhisha Vartate, consciousness present in every body. B. Gudaha Na Prakashate, hidden amidst Anatma, inseparably mixed with Panchkosa. Anatma cover as though, as Atma is all-pervading, can't be covered. When mind turned towards Atma, it does not go towards Atma. My focus on thoughts in the mind, not on the illumining light of Chaitanyam. Manifest Anatma unmanifest Anatma, concrete form in Jagrat and Svapana, matter, visible gross, Prakriti, Avyaktam, Avidya, micro, Maya, macro. Dormant Anatma abstract form, energy, potential form, covers Atma. Atma is witness of thoughtless, unmanifest mind called Anandamaya Kosa. This Atma is eternal, Nitya. This Atma, my Svarapam, is witness of all arrival and departures of minds. With the help of mind, spectacles, I own up Chaitanyam which is free from mind, spectacles. No distance between Jivatma and Paramatma. We are occupied with 4 koshas and lost in Anandamaya Kosa and lost to Chaitanyam because of which 5 koshas are known. Na Prakashate, Atma not evident for extroverted people, not evident for Stula gross Buddhi. C. Drayashyate, awareness is owned up as Aham Chaitanyam as my, Chidanandarupam, Sivaham, Namidvsharaga, Nami Labhamoha. I am not the state of envy and passion or the emotions of greed and attachment. Neither I am intoxication nor I am the emotion of jealousy. And I am not even the 4 Purushartha Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha. I am the eternal happiness or bliss state, I am Shiva, these are all thoughts belonging to mind. I am neither the subtle body mind or the thoughts. I am unpolluted awareness, spreading over the thoughts and making thoughts known like the light spreading over the hand. D. Drayashyate Agrayaya Buddhya, Suksma, Darsibhya, awareness is owned up by what? By sharp intellect which can distinguish thought and consciousness in the mind by understanding. Thought's consciousness A, rises and sets B, Anitya, Savikara, illumined object A, does not rise and set B, Nitya, Nirvikara, illuminator, subject, thoughts arise, consciousness is, thoughts set, consciousness is. Need laser beam intellect for correction of notion. Don't wait for consciousness to come after removing thoughts. Say, left out consciousness is myself, onlooker, objectification tendency should be dropped. All expectations should be dropped. What is left out, not something to be seen but I the seer. Mind which can drop objectification is called Sukshmaya Buddhi. Seeker called Sukshamadharshi seers of subtle Atma. Scriptures say mind can't know Atma KATHO Upanishad, and Mansa Na Manud. Mind limited instrument can't know limitless. Taittiriya Upanishad, Yato Vacho Nivartanti, mind can't know, returns. Use Buddhi alone to know Atma KATHO Upanishad, here verse 12. What one cannot feel with the mind, but because of which they say that the mind feels, know that alone as Brahman and not this, which people do worship here. Chapter 1, verse 7 Taittiriya Upanishad, whence all the speech turns back with the mind without reaching it, the eternal truth, the Brahman, he who knows the bliss of eternal truth, the Brahman, fears not at any time. This mind is the embodied soul of the Pranamaya. Of this, Pranamaya, the Manomaya is the self. 2. 4. 1 What is valid, correct? Answer, unprepared, unrefined, gross mind can't know Atma. Prepared subtle mind can alone know Atma. How to prepare mind? Prepare subtle mind by meditation. Shastra Jnanam only by Guru Shastra Upadesa. For Guru Shastra to work for you, you require to prepare mind. Verse 13, Nididhyasana Sloka, let the wise sink his speech into the mind into the intellect and the intellect into the great Atman and the great Atman into the peaceful Atman. 13 Two types of meditation, before study of Shastra. Shiva Manasa Puja makes mind subtle, sharp, expanded, purified. Taittiriya Upanishad, Siksha Valley, 1st chapter, Bhrigu Valley, 3rd chapter, Nididhyasanam, after study of Shastra. Dhyanam, if not done, Vedanta only scholarship. Knowledge spreads to entire system by Nididhyasanam. Gita, chapter 6 based on this sloka. One who has done Sravanam and Mananam, knowledge is there, not digested. Jnani Jnananishta, scholar, has no full benefit, has digested knowledge, has full benefit. B. Vakyahiti Manas, withdraw vak, representing 10 sense organs. Pranamaya activities should be withdrawn into Manomaya Kosha. Yachit, withdraw, learn to sit silently for some time. C. Tatyahit Jnane Atmani, withdraw the mind into Vijnanamaya Kosha. Manomaya Kosha Vijnanamaya Kosha, item vritti, objective external world, aham vritti centered. D. Mahati Buddhai Atmani, Jnanam Yahit, that Vijnanamaya Kosha should merge into Samashti Hiranaya Garbha, total intellect. Recognize, no individual intellect exists separate from total intellect. Example, no Tamil Nadu but India, Asia, universe. Look at my intellect as Samastha Buddhai, total knowledge. E. Mahati Atmani Nyat Ched Tadyat Ched Shanta Atmani, from that intellect full of thoughts, turn attention to Shanta Atma consciousness, which is witness of thoughts. Turn attention to the light, instead of seeing thoughts. Think of consciousness and own up consciousness, because of which all thoughts in my mind and others' minds are illumined. Same light of Atma behind all intellects. Gradually fall back unto yourself as observer I. Turn attention from observed to observer I. This practice is called Nididhyasanam. Having come to consciousness, dwell on Atmasvarapam. I am not limited by the dimensions of the body. I refers to consciousness. I am not polluted by impurities of the mind, uncontaminated, divisionless I am. Owning up higher nature, disowning lower nature. Body incidental, Annamaya, Pranamaya will disintegrate. As long as body is available, I will be able to say, I am. When no body, mind, as in sleep, I can't say I am. Whether I say or not, I am pure awareness principle, Chaitanya Svarapaha. This practice is called Nididhyasanam. Do this till it transfers your personality. Bahirmukhatvam, objectification orientation should be dropped and antarmukhatvam should come. For this upasanas are prescribed before Vedanta. If this obstacle remains, student will receive knowledge and will call it intellectual, objective theoretical knowledge. Knowledge will not be internalist. If upasana not done before Sravanam, it should be compensated by Nididhyasanam. If I feel Vedanta is theory, and it will not work for practical problems of life, I require the process of making mind subtle. To that extent it has transformed, to that extent mind has sukshmata arise, awake, having reached the great teachers, learn, realize that Atman. Like the sharp edge of a razor is that path, difficult to cross and hard to tread, thus say the wise Leta Brahmana, an aspirant, after he has examined the worlds gained by karma, acquire freedom from all desires, reflecting that nothing that is eternal can be gained by karma. Let him, in order to obtain the knowledge of the eternal, take sacrificial fuel, summit, in his hands and approach that preceptor alone who is well versed in the Vedas and is established in Brahman entire range of Vedanta sadhanas mentioned here. Karma Yoga Upasana Yoga Jnana Yoga Vedanta sadhanas, for moksha, freedom, first stage, diagonous the problem through Karma Yoga and Upasana Yoga. Know what I need, is it problem with the world or with myself? Immature mind finds fault with the world. Jita, the Lord takes neither the demerit nor even the merit of any, knowledge is enveloped by ignorance, thereby beings are deluded. Chapter 5, verse 15. All human beings suffer from one problem, self-ignorance. All are deluded. A. Udishthata, wake up to your problem of self-ignorance through karma yoga and upasana yoga. B. Jagrata, if I go on following karma yoga, will knowledge of self dawn/rise like hair growing, aging, hunger, death happens in time. C. Pratyavaran Nibbodhita, knowledge you have to make it happen through Jnana Yoga. Jnana Yoga teaches me, you are ever free, pure, secure, wake up to your intrinsic divine nature. Nibbodhita, learn that by going to a Sratriya Brahmanishta Guru. KATHO Upanishad, even emperor goes to Acharya and asks for Brahma Vidya. Learn till you realize Aham Brahma Asmi. D. Shurasayadharanishita Duratyaya, Jnana Marga is very sharp, difficult to tread. E. Durgam Padas Tat Kavayo Vadanti, wise declare Jnana Marga very difficult to tread. How difficult? Like walking over a razor whose edge is sharpened. Because Jnana Marga is difficult, we take to Bhakti, simplified Kundalini Yoga, Nama Sankirtanam etc. Jnanam can't be avoided because Jnanat eva Kaivalayam, Na Anya Pankta Ayana Vidayat. Prepare personality by Sadhana Shatushtiya Sampatti, then Jnana Yoga easy. The wise sage renounces joy and sorrow by means of meditation on the inner self, recognizes the ancient, who is difficult to be seen, is hidden in the cave of the heart, dwells in the abyss, is lodged in the intelligence and seated amidst miserable surroundings indeed. He, who has realized that, Atman, which is without sound, without touch, without form, without decay, and also without taste, without smell, without beginning, without end, beyond the Maha, great, eternal, and unchanging, is freed from the jaws of death. 3:15 Most important definition of Atma or Brahman in KATHO Upanishad. Drops objectification tendency. Similar to Mundaka Upanishad, Chapter 1-1, 6. 186 That which is invisible, ungraspable, unoriginated, and attributeless, that which has neither eyes nor ears nor hands nor legs, that is eternal, full of manifestations, all-pervading, subtlest of the subtle, that imperishable being is what the wise perceive as the source of all creation. 6 Definition to show how Brahman can't be objectified. If you are looking for Brahman experience, you are looking for objectification. Brahma Anubhava equals objectification of Anubhava. Ashabdam, Asparsham, Arupam, Arasam, Agandhavatu, Brahman is free from 5 properties of sound, touch, form, decay, taste, smell. Not available from sensory perception. Can't come across Brahman sensorily. Brahmadarshanam not possible. B. Avyayam, 187 without 6 modifications, 1. Asti potential existence, 2. Jade birth, 3. Vardate growth, 4. Viparinamate modification, 5. Apakshiyat decay, 6. Vinashyati death shadvikara hence c. Dhruvam, absolute desha, kala atitvam. D. Nitya, eternal free from time-wise limitation. Such a Brahman you have to know. What you perceive outside is Shabda, Sparsh, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha, experienced through 5 sense organs. If properties are not there, mind can't objectify. Internal world, lights, devas, rings, are arriving, departing mystic experiences. Brahman does not rise, and, not inside, outside me, it is me. Ever experiencer, never experienced. Drk eva, natadrayashyate. Ever seer, never seen. Ever hearer, never heard. Brahman ever for owning up, never for objectification. E. Nitya, having known in this manner, I am Brahma aprakshitaya, then what will happen? F. Mritayumukat paramuchyate, you will be free from grip of kala tattvam of death. You will be mrityam amritangamaya. You will be immortal. He will be free from notion of mortality, which is jivanmukti. The intelligent one, having heard and related this ancient story of Nachiketas as told by Lord Death, is glorified in the world of Brahman. 3:16 verse 16 plus 17, Phalasriti. What is the benefit of listening to chapter 1? A. Phalam, glory of teaching, Sanatanam, eternal, benefits for imparter and receiver. B. Brahmaloka Mahiyate, student grasps teaching, attains Brahmaloka here and now, Sadhyamukti. Gives Jnanam and Moksha, if student does not grasp teaching, will get Krimamukti. Verse 17, whoever with devotion recites, before an assembly of Brahmanas or at the time of Shraddha ceremony of forefathers, this highest secret, obtains thereby immortality, obtains immortality. Thus ends the third valley of the first chapter. A. Param Goyam, deals with Rajavidya, Raja Goyam. Words and vibrations benefit a person. B. Sravayat Brahma Samsadi, Parayanam without study of meaning also beneficial, Vedas bless by hearing. Chant in assembly of Brahmana who have faith in the efficacy of Veda mantras. How should one do Parayanam? C. Prayataha, with purity after bath, after purification of the mind. D. Tatu Anantayakalpate, Parayanam only purifies mind, develops interest to know meaning. In due course, will lead to limitless, moksha. Alternate reading, Upanishad reading during Sraddha Kalam in Brahma Samsadi, has extra prayahanam like japa during Granam. Tadantayakalpate repeated, indicates end of chapter. Chapter 1 Section 1, Vahasravas, father, Nachiketa, son 8 years, does Vishvajit Yaga for Svarga. Gives all possessions as Dakshina. Nachiketa told by angry father that he will be given to Yama. Nachiketa goes to Yamaloka. 3 boons, father's peace of mind first boon. Ritual and upasana to reach Svarga second boon. Third boon, Atma Jnanam in I. 14. Section 2, third boon, 2, 14, Omkara Upasana, verse 18 to 25, Atma Svarapam 6 features, Nirvikaritam, Abutra Tattvam, Durvanayabam, Akartrutvam, Sarva Adishtanam, Deshakala Atitatvam. Section 3, Chariot imagery, Traveler Jiva, verse 10 to 15. 10 indicators, Ashabdam, Asparsham, Arupam, Avyayam, Arasam, Agandham, Anadi, Anantam, Dhruvam, Mahadapuram, Nitya. Beyond is, body, sense organs, sense objects, mind, intellect, total intellect, sense organs, sense objects, mind, intellect, total intellect, Purusha extrovert mind by instinct can only see anatma, absorbed in finite world of Shabda, Sparsh, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. Natural extrovertedness is obstacle to spirituality, makes spiritual journey uphill task. Climbing up a mountain, gravitation against you, taking body weight up. Climbing down, body weight pulled down by gravitation, hence easier. By discriminative power fight instinctive power. How to use discriminative power? By knowing that whatever is outside is perishable. Don't spend entire life looking on Shabda, Sparsh, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. Live amidst anatma but realize security is not in external objects. My fulfillment trupti, contentment not in external objects. Parikshaya lokan, get maturity, turn attention from finite to infinite, saguna to nirguna, parichanna to aparishana, priyas to sreyas. Atma, pure consciousness am imperishable, aksharam. Holding on to universe, you will also perish. Who makes them perish? Yama Dharmaraja, Kala Tattvam, I will destroy anything and everything except Atma. Dispassion, detachment from anatma born out of maturity, conviction, wisdom, discrimination, growing out, bring out Jnana Yogita Prapti. Vivkajanya Viragyam is called Antarmukhatvam the end.